Where did these things come from? Did they come from Cuba?
Initially, yeah, they were introduced into Florida in the 50s.
I'm here with a living legend in this industry, Ron St. Pierre, who I first heard your name when Vin Russo was telling me about blood boas many moons ago.
Yep.
You were the guy who brought them in, and you blew the project, from what he told me.
Is that what he said?
No, he said you gave away the project pretty much.
After 10 years.
Yeah.
I got him in 1990. I found him in a shipment in a reptile place. I paid like $35 for the first 4. And then a couple years later, I proved him out. I tried for like 5 or 7, actually 10 years. Nobody wanted them.
Why do you think no one wanted them?
Because at the time, everybody wanted giant snakes, and they were a small boa.
Oh, they were Central American.
Central American, yeah. So everybody said, oh, no, those suck, they need to be Colombians. So you can imagine my surprise after in like 99, I sell the project.
Right.
Then I walk into an expo in 2004, and I see him for 10 grand on everybody's table. I was like, what the hell?
It would be like if Ozzy would have sold Orange Dream Project,
Yes.
right? Because no one wanted it, originally.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But you've done much better stuff since then. So I saw about 10 years ago you had mentioned something about this Cuban Knight Anole that someone had brought to you that was an albino.
Yeah,
and you said you were going to try to breed it.
Yep,
And you did, obviously.
we did.
And we actually got one here.
Yeah, 10 years later. There's a...
Where did these things come from? Did they come from Cuba?
Initially, yeah, they were introduced into Florida in the 50s via the University of Miami.
Okay.
And then they obviously
Why did
adapted.
they introduce them?
From what I was told, it was a kind of a test to see if a non-native species could do well on the grounds of the university in Coral Gables. Obviously, they did well, and they spread all over Florida.
Yeah, now we can't have anything here because they don't want anything invasive species, even though they started this whole project.
Kind of, yeah.
So how did you get albinos? Do you think they just spontaneously mutated?
Yeah, they started popping up. In 2013, a local collector had found one on a tree, called me up, offered it to me, and I wasn't initially going to take it. I passed on it, and then I posted a photo on Facebook, and like everybody in the industry contacted me, what is that, and where can I get it?
Oh, no.
Then I panicked, and I drove down as fast as I could, and I bought it. Right. And then I started breeding them about a year later.
How hard was it to get them to breed?
They're extremely easy. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're basically like a gecko, like a crested gecko that needs a little bit more. They need UV, obviously, and a little more heat.
You set them up outside like all your other stuff?
Yeah, I've done them both indoors and outdoors. But yeah, obviously we're in Florida. We do most of the stuff outside.
Now, more exciting even than that, although this was exciting when I first started, but I hear you doing emerald tree bows.
What's an emerald tree boa? Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Well, actually, funny thing, in the process of working out these anoles, 10 years ago, I realized that, these have all the same problems that emerald tree boas have. The regurgitation, the chronic shedding problems, pretty much everything. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, well, if I ever work it out fully with these guys to where I have it all down, on that day, I'm going to do a 180 and go after emerald tree boas, which is what I really have always wanted to do.
What's the problem? What did you figure out was going on with the emerald tree boas?
So basically, they require a massive amount of water. We just do not hydrate them well enough in captivity. But to do that, you have to change all the other parameters, because if you keep them at the low, moderate temperatures that people do, and you pump this much water in them, they get respiratory infections. So I had to rewrite the entire thing.
So what's the secret?
It's basically water. It's putting a lot of water.
So they need heat.
They need heat, they need water, they need good ventilation. And so I worked out this system that we're now in the process of testing. We're about 4 months in. We need to get through the winter, make sure I can navigate that properly. Right. But I basically sold everything I have except for a couple of anole projects. Yeah.
You're either all in or all out with all your projects.
I'm all in.
Didn't you have monitors for a while?
I did.
How long did that last?
Yeah, I got 6 years out of it. Dude, I'm a broad spectrum herpetoculturist. I like working on everything. So I do stuff. Normally 10 years is about, I'm going to keep doing the Podior and the Ludogalaris, these giant anoles. But yeah, all the other small projects, we sold them off. Heather took over. She does 5 different lizard species. She does bearded skinks and stuff. But yeah, and then I went all in on emerald tree boas, started buying them up. We're up to like 60 adults now. And
wow, 60 adults. I hear you're getting some crazy looking morphs in too.
Yeah, we've like I said, I'm all in, man. So
Paul and I got to take a trip out to your place. I want to see your setup, though.
absolutely, dude.
Hey, keep doing it, man. I love that you still have enthusiasm after all these years to do new shit.
What else is there to do, man?
No, because some people get bored and they're like, I did it all.
Yeah, I've definitely gone through that. I mean, this is actually the first time in about 10 years that I've been just all in.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I talked to Tom Crutchfield. He's like, Dave, can I get a deposit on an animal I'm selling you? Because I want to buy another snake. And he still sounds like a 12-year-old kid who wants to get something new that he hasn't had yet.
Yeah, it never goes away, man.
Love it.
Yep.
Thanks.